with us now this morning to tell us more about that story as well as other stories. Yeah, this is a really, really sad tale coming out of Japan, Haley.
Yes, it is. Good morning, Anne-Marie. 19 people have been killed and at least 8 others have been injured in a fire that ripped through a busy office building in Japan today. Police are investigating whether or not it was an arson attack. The fire burned through the 4th floor of an 8-story building in downtown Osaka with smoke and flames billowing from the windows. The floor reportedly housed a psychiatric clinic that was full of patients and counselors. The fire was extinguished less than half an hour after emergency crews were called. Police said that a man in his 60s was seen entering the building shortly before the fire broke out, carrying a bag that was leaking fluid. Next to Hong Kong, which is preparing for the first legislative election since Beijing changed the law so that only people it deems to be, quote, patriots are allowed to run. The vote, which is planned for this weekend, was scheduled for last year, but it was postponed, authorities said, because of COVID. China has been tightening its grip on semi-autonomous Hong Kong, stripping away rights and freedoms that its citizens used to enjoy. Last year, Beijing introduced a new national security law that uses charges of subversion and secession to stifle pro-democracy groups. Many activists have been jailed or fled to live in exile. According to local media, only 3 of the 153 candidates running in Sunday's election openly identify as being pro-democracy. Staying in the region, North Korea commemorated the 10th anniversary of Kim Jong Un's father, Kim Jong Il's death today, marking it by lowering flags to half-staff and sounding a siren for 3 minutes. The memorial came as Kim Jong Un grapples with one of the toughest moments of his rule so far. Last year, North Korea's economy suffered its biggest contraction since the 90s, and its grain production fell to the lowest level since Kim came to power. Also, it's imposed some of the world's toughest COVID restrictions, which caused its trade with China to plummet. And Kim continues to refuse to resume nuclear talks with the U.S. or South Korea, meaning international sanctions remain in place. But despite all this, on the anniversary of his father's death, Kim's power over the reclusive kingdom remains just as absolute. Finally, Australians are mourning a tragic accident with an inflatable bounce house that killed 5 children and left 3 others in critical condition on Thursday. The children, who were all around 11 or 12, were playing in the bounce house at their school fair when a gust of wind lifted it high up into the air. They fell about 32 feet to the ground. Australia's Prime Minister said there weren't any words to describe the horrific tragedy, and police are investigating how it was able to happen. Anne-Marie, the families of the children that died have quite understandably said they don't want to speak publicly, but there's been an outpouring of grief from other people who knew them on social media, and an online fundraiser that was set up to help the families with expenses has already raised nearly $500,000.
Wow, impressive. Haley, thank you very much.